Well, welcome to The Word on the Street Is with Michael and Gaby, where we mention it all about your favorite Bravo celebrities and the shows they star in.
We are so excited to have another special guest, Diana. She has an amazing Etsy store called Rewatching4you, and that is also her Instagram where she posts amazing Bravo memes.
You're so sweet. Hi, everybody. I'm Diana. Nice to meet you. Um, I run an Etsy shop that's Bravo related. So, if you're looking for a gift, looking for a fun little Bravo tchotchke, I'm your girl.
Yeah, I have bought so much stuff from you. I have coasters. I have like sparkly confetti. I have a Lisa Rinna little tray that says where people are doing coke in your bathroom. I have so much stuff. I'm obsessed.
Yeah, any iconic Bravo quote you can think of, there's some type of merch in Diana's store with that quote on it.
I like to design stuff that's like for Bravo fans, by Bravo fans. So, I've been watching Bravo since I was in high school, so over 10 years, and I can remember the exact first episode I watched. So when people shop for my store, just know it's coming from someone who really knows their stuff.
What was the first episode of Housewives that got you hooked?
It was Real Housewives of Atlanta when Kim was throwing Brielle's birthday party, I believe in season 1, and she got like, this decked out room, and like it was like pink, and I think it was like zebra print, and like I remember I was like babysitting my cousin's kids, and she like was in the living room, and I was like, what is that? And she's like, oh, it's a show about these like crazy rich women who fight, and I was like, me. So it started there with Atlanta.
Diana, do you want to get into your Bravo palette?
So my top one favorite housewife is an OG. I feel like she does not get the respect that she deserves, and that's Miss Jill Zarin. She gave us so much so early on, and her, time as a housewife was really short-lived, that people forget about everything she did. Like, everybody obviously like, Bethany is amazing, but like that breakup, people went the Bethany route. So just want to really make sure like Jill Zarin, queen housewife, this top one. And then we have the other side of it, Bethany. Bethany is a businesswoman. Bethany knew what she was doing when she was getting on the show, but it wasn't calculated. It was organic, and she shared a lot with, the viewers, and she, like now she's on Shark Tank and doing like bigger and better things. So like respect to Bethany always. My next one obviously is Lisa Rinna. She's been in our lives, as well as long as we can remember, because she's an actual celebrity. So the fact that she was like hamming it up for Real Housewives, like love her or hate her, you talk about her. When Beverly Hills is on, there's always 3 things you think about at the end of the episode, and 2 of those are because of Rinna.
Yeah.
The next one is Miss Phaedra Parks. Again, like she's very controversial, but that scene when she walks into her baby shower with the rhinestone eyes, I'm sorry, like no other entrance, has been better than that. And like, it was very sketchy to like her, giving birth early, but like her baby was like 10 pounds, and it's like trying to be pure. And then the Apollo drama, like amazing, just crazy, cuckoo crazy. Oh, the mortician stuff.
There's so much.
Yeah, and then my last one is a duo, because I can't have one without the other. I'm sorry, breaking the rules here, is Nene and Kim. I love them both only when they're together. Like again, Nene is on Bethany level, where like she went out of the housewives and took advantage of the situation in the best way possible. And like Kim too, Kim tries, but it's a little more Instagrammy, like flat tummy tea. So, but together, like we forget how good they were. Like, like ring didn't mean a thing. Like when they're like, Kim is like, run to the car. Like, I want you to listen to this, song. And it was like, it just clicked. And like the first, my like hometown, not hometown, but like the first Real Housewives franchise I saw was Atlanta. So like they really took it home for me. And if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be addicted. So those are my top.
Okay.
My least.
I want to just comment because I love all of them. Like I said, Beverly Hills and Atlanta were like my first 2, and I've always loved Kim and Nene. I know Gaby has Phaedra in her like bottom 5, but she's more up there for me. But overall, that was a really good list. So
I also really enjoyed Jill Zarin. She's like so classically New York. I always really loved her relationship with Bobby as well.
Yeah, she has a great relationship as a mother, as a sister, daughter. She was a great friend. Like her dog, like when her dog was like, licking the boogers out of her nose, she gave us that.
That's how she'd always say her name, Ginger.
So good. I was in New York a few years ago with some friends, and we like walked by Jill there, well, not Jill there, but like Zarin Fabrics, and they were just like, Babby, like it was just like a full circle moment.
Do you remember the time the Van Kempens were shopping at Zarin Fabric, and they're like, "Where's Francois? Where's Francois?" And Jill goes, "He's right there." And Simon goes, "No, this is Johan."
Oh yeah, like Alex McCord and Simon Van Kempen. Like I made a meme about them a few weeks ago, and it blew up. Like just like calling all content creators, like people love the original seasons of the Housewives, like the core four, like Beverly Hills, Atlanta, like New York and New Jersey. Like we need, I feel like as a society we just need to rewatch it. Like I kind of wish Bravo would like premiere it so it's like on a weekly basis, like the new episodes, but they're old, so we can all kind of relive it. That's just my take on it.
That's truly the core four though. Like I'm literally planning a rewatch of all four of those cities like this winter. So
do you want me to go into my list?
Yeah.
Cool. No shock to anyone. I'm not going to spend any time explaining why, because it's Teddy. Moving on, same thing. Jackie from New Jersey. I'm sorry. She gives me like creepy stalker vibes. Like when that picture with her and Teresa at her book signing, and now she's like on the show and didn't acknowledge it until people called her out on it. That's creepy. Next is Saki Flicker. She was fun for the first 5 minutes, and then annoying and terrifying like the later like half of her like 2-season run. And it was like really annoying too, because she just wanted to be like the main character. And as we all know, Teresa and Andy are like this, like tight, and that's never going to end. So don't even trying to get Teresa down. So the fact that she didn't get that memo is,
I just think it's really funny how she like condemns Bravo and like the fact that she was on TV. However, she uses that as one of her like main points of who she is as a motivational speaker, like TV personality. It's like, bitch, you're not on anything now. You were on reality TV, and now you're acting like you're too good for it. Don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, 5 minutes on Wendy Williams is not, saying that you were like a TV personality.
Yeah, that's not cutting it.
My next one, again, breaking the rules here, but it's the entire current cast of Orange County. There's no redeeming qualities about them. Do I watch? Yes. Should I watch? Probably not, but it's just like a train wreck. It's like watching like a cousin that you hated who got fat and lost her job. Kind of like that to me.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like, I feel like it's time to, bury that cast in the ground and either like start fresh with new cast or bring people from the past that have nothing to do with these women. Some people like from season like 2 to 6, like I know Heather Dubrow is hot topic here, but like this franchise really went downhill after she left. Bring in Heather and like give her whatever she wants, have her like bring some of her friends just to kind of liven it up, because like we wouldn't have anything without OC. So kind of a shame.
I enjoyed her a lot actually on Orange County. I've always been a Heather fan.
And I hate Heather, and I would still take her back compared to the cast. So
yeah, I'm on your side, Michael. Like I don't like her. Like I feel like she's a great mother, she's a great wife, like she's a hustler. Like her podcast is annoying, but like it's still going, and it's strong because people like to listen to her. So it's kind of like you need it, and sometimes you just have to hate watch, and that's fine too.
Get rid of Kelly, give us Heather, give us Alexis, please.
I really think Kelly's actually the main reason Heather left the show.
Yeah, well, she said it, I believe, that, I think she would have Tamara on her podcast like soon after either one of them left. And it was like, well, I left for somebody that's still like currently on the cast. And I think, people were like, was it Shannon like this? And she's like, nope, no. And I think it like obviously is Miss Dodd.
Yeah.
So.
I think if Kelly left, Heather would come back.
Probably. And like, we never got to see the house.
True.
Like, the YouTube videos, I know she has like a tour, but it's not the same.
I agree.
But, yeah. And my last one is going to be very controversial. So my least favorite housewife is Kyle Richards.
We had James come on, and he said she was his least favorite as well. So
yeah, I love her as a mother, like she hustles and like, is gorgeous, and like, her family comes from pedigree. So I'm very excited to see what's going to happen with Kathy now in the cast. But like, I love Lisa Vanderpump, not enough to put her in my top 5, but enough, to kind of just know where the wrong was. Like, these are housewives. They all called Page 6. They all called Radar Online or whatever, thing is. Like, don't, get mad because one person is getting better press than you, because we know you're doing it too. But, that, and like the splits, I'm over it.
Yeah, right. I agree. Like, I go back and forth on Kyle a lot. There's times I love her, there's times I hate her, but she plays victim a lot and she cries every time there's a fight, and it's like she's not even involved. And I think the thing with Kyle is that I think everyone feels like they can trust her and they feel like they like her, and so I feel like she does get put in the middle of a lot, and then she is like forced to pick a side, but then she plays victim, and then that's what gets really annoying about her. But I think she's like, everyone just feels like they can like trust her, and then she gets put in these situations. Either way, she annoys me a lot of the time too, so I get it.
Yeah, and I really think she was part of the reason why we all hate Teddi so much, was because she kind of forced her upon us and forced their friendship. And I mean, like, Teddi didn't really have much going on. Like, let's be real, producers wanted her to bring like her dad and Meg Ryan's on the show, and that never happened, which is another reason, like the first season we were just waiting for it. So I think she also like kind of trapped Teddi in this situation. Like,
That was just a weird friendship. I hope Kyle like gets better without Teddi, but we'll see.
Well, Michael recently let me know that Teddi is actually the one who introduced Kyle to Crystal Kung Minkoff.
Yeah. Because Kyle's birthday was Monday, and Crystal did an Instagram story, and it was like, and she said, "Happy birthday, Kyle. Thank you to Teddi for introducing me to her." So I thought that was
interesting. I just hope this isn't like Teddi trying to keep the door open for her to get back on the show, but we all know that's what that was for.
And I hope Crystal is not Teddi 2.0 either.
No, I don't think she will be. I have high hopes for Crystal. I think she seems lovely. And I also am a little biased because of who she's married to.
As a Disney lover.
She has to be amazing. She's married to the co-director of The Lion King. I mean, there's no way she can't be wonderful.
Ooh, I've met some people who work at like Disney Studios who are not the greatest. So
I guess I'm naive in hopes that I hope she's wonderful, and I hope we get to meet him, and I hope he's wonderful. But that's the Disney lover in me. I'm always hoping for a happy ending, not in a Denise Richards.
The Denise. Crystal seems nice. I want like the drama from her, and I'm not sure if we'll get that from her. So I'm gonna hold off my opinion on her until we see season 11.
I agree.
Well, should we get into Bravo news, Gaby?
The word on the street is that Stassi and her husband Beau gave birth to their baby girl, what's her name again?
Hartford.
Rose. What are our thoughts on that name?
What do you expect from parents named Stassi and Beau? Like, their names are a little out there. I mean, at least coming from Southern California, like nobody's really I mean, I know Vanderpump Rules is set in Southern California, but like a native person, you just don't hear those types of names. So
I don't know anyone named Hartford.
Yeah, I thought it would, like when she like the initials came out with that like Coach paid advertisement, I thought it was going to be Harper, because that, it's kind of cutesy, but Hartford.
If it was Harper, then it's like makes you think of Harper Lee, the author of To Kill a Mockingbird, and it's like, oh, that's a nice tribute. But Hartford, like what, like Connecticut, West Hartford?
Knowing Stassi, I thought she would like name it after like a serial killer or something, just because that's who Stassi is.
She did.
What female?
The middle names.
Charlie
Rose is a serial killer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes more sense now.
Wow. What do you know about the serial killer?
I don't know, but when I posted like the announcement on my Instagram, people were commenting like, okay, like the first name's a little, it's a taste, but like they're like, really, she went with Charlie Rose, like all the things he did, and then like just people going off in the comments saying like he was a murderer, and like they're like, wait till she Googles that. But like now, like kind of clicking now that you said it, Michael, like she's into gore and horror and stuff, so Maybe it was intentional.
Oh my
She
God.
loves that
So am
stuff.
I, but I'm not about to name my kid Richard Ramirez.
I don't think we should name our kids after like literal like killers and like criminals, but okay.
Oh my God. I am so terrified. Like, I would never name my kid Jeffrey Dahmer.
I mean, it's on brand for her.
Yeah, it is on brand. I'll give her that. But well, our next piece of news, keeping up with Vanderpump Rules, is that Jax and Brittany are looking for houses in Kentucky now that they're fired from Vanderpump Rules.
Hey.
God.
Yeah, they're looking for homes in Kentucky, which, like, good for them, I guess. That might be a nice place to raise a child.
I mean, the money is running out.
Yeah.
There's so many swipe ups and beer cheeses that they can promote. Like Vanderpump Rules, I don't know how much everybody was paid in the cast. I just don't foresee it being like Beverly Hills status.
No.
Probably like a nice chunk of change because they bought houses in the valley, which are so expensive, but like it's the valley. Like, I'm sorry, like it's just like half an hour away from Los Angeles proper, but your like temperature is like 30 degrees warmer. So it's like, what are you doing? So, as a fellow Angelino, I'm glad they're getting out of my city.
Yeah, right.
I feel like the only appeal for me to go to Kentucky would just be like how beautiful and green it is and how cheap it would be to live there.
I think cheap would be the only thing for me.
I also hate that like Jax was, not that it matters, but like, Jax got the only boy. So like, just like the way that he was like treating it, like, yeah, like, I got the son or whatever. It's just like, first of all, okay, calm down with your sexism and like, congrats. Like you made it, like, it's just, ugh, I hate it. Do you guys want to predict what the baby name will be?
Oh man, it's going to be something dumb. I just know.
It's going to have to be like crazy. Like I also foresee it being like a junior. So like a JJ, like Jax Jr., even though Jax isn't his real name, or like, I don't know, like forklift trailer or something.
I have one, Braxton, because like Brittany, Jax, Braxton.
I could see that.
I think that's a good one.
And that's like kind of like a country name, I feel like. So.
Or maybe he'll name him Tom, so he thinks he finally got a piece of Tom Tom.
Guess we'll find out.
Then he can really be the number one guy in the group.
Moving on, our next piece of news, Carrie and Cameron from Dallas, they're starting their own podcast, and it's called Cam and Carrie Do Dallas. To me, this seems really random. I don't care too much about it, but just wanted to touch on that and wanted to see if you guys would be tuning into that.
No, I won't.
No. I mean, don't Brandy and Stephanie have a joint podcast also?
Probably.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting that they didn't like venture off on their own, kind of like Lisa Vanderpump did and Bethany.
To be honest with you, I'd rather listen to Danielle Staub's podcast, especially now that our friend James Kirk was on her podcast. Now I'm inclined to listen.
Right.
Even if James wasn't on there, I'm obsessed with James. I love his TikToks. Even if
love him
on Danielle's podcast, I'd still rather listen to her podcast than Cam and Carrie's.
We should get you guys on the podcast, on the Danielle one. That'd
oh my
so
God,
good.
I would die. I actually like Danielle.
I love Danielle.
I do too. I was so happy for James, of course. But I was a little jelly, not gonna lie.
I was too. The best news, best for last, is that the Jersey trailer just came out today, and I have to say I'm so excited for this season. I think it's going to be probably one of our best seasons of the year. It just looks so good.
It looked amazing. I am so excited. The only thing with Jersey is Jersey's kind of like a donut. Like it's really good in the beginning of the season and the end of the season, but the middle like 6 episodes are like a drag. Mm-hmm. So I'm not looking forward to that, but like I'm ready.
I can't wait. I am so excited. We've got a new friend of Michelle who's saying that Joe hasn't been paying her husband for like the expenses he owes him. And this is like a similar drama we've seen in Jersey with one of the Joes not paying what they owe somebody's husband. So it's like just seems like a cycle in Jersey of people not paying their bills.
Yeah, we've been hearing that rumor about Joe a lot, and I'm not surprised. There's rumors that Melissa's been texting a guy, which those old rumors just kind of resurfaced on I don't know if you guys follow Talk of Shame on TikTok, but she made a video around Christmas about these Melissa cheating rumors that were resurfacing. So that was really interesting. And now that might be a storyline. We got rumors that Evan is cheating on Jackie at the gym. And then we have a huge blow up with Joe Gorga and Teresa, and then Melissa and Teresa. So it's kind of going back to our roots of like season 3 to 5 of Jersey. So I think it's going to be good. And we have Jennifer getting just fucked up. So
I have a prediction about Jennifer. Like, Jennifer is, I love her so much. Her and her like 1,000 bathrooms or whatever it was. Like, she's so great. The fact that she was in the trailer so little made me think that, you know how every season, like, love it or hate it, they have like a heroine and they also have like somebody they try to make look horrible. And I feel like Jennifer this year is going to be the one that they like bring up and like make them the golden child. And I feel like Joe Gorga is going to be the housewife, because I consider him a housewife. Like, he gets a talking head. He gets confessionals. Yeah. I feel like it's his season to like tear him down the way that it was for Dorinda last season in New York.
I agree with that. And honestly, Joe brings more than Melissa. Like, Melissa on her own would have nothing without Joe. So
yeah,
agree.
I agree. Melissa still has no storyline, but maybe this season now she will, now that she's like texting somebody, which was sad for Joe. They've been married like 16 years. What are our thoughts? Do you guys think that they're going to stay together?
I think they will. I think, let's be real, Teresa is like Melissa's idol. She does everything she does, and she's probably a little jealous of seeing the freedom that Teresa has. Like, it's a difference when you're dating someone in your early 20s to when you're dating like in your early 40s, when you're like a grown-ass woman, have, you know, money, have power, have fame. So like the pedigree of men that Teresa is dating is probably making Melissa a little jealous. Also, we get to see them selling their house this season because they no longer live there. So I wonder if that has anything to do with like, did they need the money to like pay off all the bills, even though I know the house has been on the market for like 10 years, which is crazy. So that'll be fun to watch.
Yeah, I agree. Melissa does look up to Teresa, and just reading some of like the background of like Melissa before Housewives, I definitely think like Melissa has a lot of jealousy with Teresa. So
I don't get what there is to be jealous of, because like Teresa didn't want to be, she doesn't want to be dating right now. If she had it her way, she'd still be married to Joe. Like, Teresa was always like 100% in with Joe. Like, she was so in love with him, like the whole time they were together on the show. And that seemed genuine to me, even the times that he was like rude to her. Like, he'd be like, shut up, Tree, or leave me alone. Or like, he's just always so rude to her, but she still always seemed like so invested in the marriage. And if she had it her way, he wouldn't be in Italy.
So. Yeah. And then like that line from the trailer today where Joe gets mad at Teresa and says like, he put our mom in the grave, like, ooh, like that, you know, Jersey gives us family, which is good and bad. Yeah. Because it's, you know, it's rooted, but it's bad because it's family. Like, we're seeing them kind of crumble.
Yeah, that line literally gave me goosebumps. Like, I didn't start crying, but like it like got me like feeling that kind of way, because you felt that emotion from Joe rewatching that. Like, there's a lot of deep-rooted issues with Joe and Teresa and Melissa. Like, there's just a lot.
Well, that's about it for Bravo News this week. So now we're going to head into Orange County and cover the most recent episode of that.
Yeah, this will be quick because this episode was really boring in my opinion.
I feel like we say that every week. We're always like, okay, this was so boring. And we're like, the season's already almost over. So overall, it was just a boring ass season.
Yeah, I believe the season finale is literally airing right now as we speak.
Oh, it is. So, thank God.
You know.
Yeah. I'm so ready for it to be done. I mean, I watch because it's Housewives. I'm gonna watch the way, but like, I'm happy that it's ending, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm not sad. So, there's no hole in my heart for when.
Yeah, there really wasn't much this episode, though. I mean, Elizabeth signed her divorce papers. Good for her. We had Shannon ordering the organic headboards for Sophie to go to college.
Oh my God. But I'm surprised she didn't like stick crystals in there or something. Like, it's so pretentious.
It's so much. Like, what even is an organic headboard? Like,
not IKEA.
The fact that she even brought not IKEA. She even like bought one for Sophie's roommate too. Like,
I feel like organic in that sense is just saying like it's a rich person headboard.
Yeah, like Restoration Hardware.
Yeah.
Full price, no sale.
I understand like food in a sense, but what would make it a headboard organic? We had Elizabeth talking about her childhood with her brother, which, like, to me, I don't love Elizabeth, but this is actually an interesting storyline. Like, I'll give her that. I don't know that I need Elizabeth for another season, but I like that she's been more open lately. But it just made me sad, like what went on in the last 2 episodes, her talking about her childhood and how she was abused and how her family even was against her because she came out and just, she told her neighbor that there was a cult, the whole situation and how they got kicked out of, how the whole church got shut down. That was sad. But then we got some more perspective from her brother talking about how he was dyslexic and they would beat him for that. And then their aunt had an allergic reaction. And they said, well, if the Lord, like, what did they say? Like, if the Lord would want her to stay alive, that
like
they just let her be.
Yeah, they were like, oh, she's having an allergic reaction. Well, if God wants her to live, then she'll live. If she dies, then God doesn't want that.
I feel like she is the most random addition to Orange County.
Yeah.
And she also came in the weirdest year ever because they filmed pre and post lockdown. So it's just like, she was kind of forced upon us. And I feel like she would have been more palatable if she was given like a friend of title and then potentially brought in next season as a full-time housewife, because I feel like we're now just getting this information and this would have been nice to know, not nice to know, but it would have been a better character development if we would have known this from the beginning, because at first it was like, okay, here's this pretentious rich woman who just got off like a multi-million-dollar divorce and she's now with like a younger guy and she's really into, liposuction and like terrible bathing suits. And now we're getting like the sad stuff. So it's like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like,
it makes you almost feel bad for not liking her.
Yeah. And like also like Shane got his redemption season by getting COVID. Like, if you would have told us a year ago that like we would have been on like Shane and Emily's side, like we would have all thought we were crazy.
Yeah.
So that's how bad OC was. We like Shane now.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's just so bad. I think if they don't like recast at least half of the cast and like just completely revamp the show, then just get rid of it. I mean, I know that a lot of people it gets decent ratings still, but like, let's just be done with it.
That's because Kelly Dodd still has a lot of fans. Like, I don't follow her on my Instagram, nor do I follow her on me and Michael's Instagram that we share together for this podcast. But I'll like scroll through Kelly's comments sometimes because I'm a nosy bitch, and they'll just be like, all these people like, you need your own spin-off show. Like, everything you say is so awesome, and it's like, it's not just like a few of them. There's a lot. She still has a large fan base.
Yeah, Kelly Dodd blocked me.
So
it's like a badge of honor. This was when like her terrible choice of hat came out that said what was it, Drunk Wives Matter. Another Bravo account, I can't remember it right now, had a petition to sign to alert Bravo like, hey, like we're so many people, like get her off. And her people went crazy in the comments section and like started tagging, and before you know it, I get blocked by Kelly Dodd for signing that petition. And it's like, you're the problem if people are like petitioning for you to get off. Like, I don't think that's ever happened with any other housewife. So Bravo also is in a terrible position because they fired Stassi and so many other people for like half of an issue of what Kelly Dodd is. So it's just,
I agree.
I don't know, like, Bravo, get your ish together. But like, I hate to say it, but like diehard OC fans have the same mentality as Kelly Dodd.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not pretty to say, but it's true. Like, as you said, Gabby, like, people love her, people comment on her stuff, and she just attracts those type of viewers.
Yeah, I thought they would, because a lot of people were boycotting OC at the beginning, but now I don't know. I mean, I know that they're trying to like PR her, and like, you know, she was on Watch What Happens Live and she had her like little apology, but she will always go off on social media no matter what. And so I think there's no really way to control her. So I feel like if I was Bravo, I would just get rid of her, because you're going to save yourself a heartache in the end.
Yeah. And Andy Cohen has actually spoken out recently saying, like, I wish we'd taken a moment to like think about firing Stassi and Kristen. Like, I think we did that too quickly because of like what you said, Diana. Like, there's been other things that have happened and people are still on said shows. And Sarah, who's a friend of on Salt Lake City, who we will touch on in a little bit. They looked into her, found out she probably wasn't going to be good for the show given her views, and then they made her a friend of. What's the logic there?
So like, just thinking about casting, if you're like an affluent woman in OC and they come to you asking you if you want to join Real Housewives of Orange County and you don't want to deal with like the Kelly of it all, you're not going to get on the show. So she's blocking potential cast members from joining. Same reason why Heather Dubrow left, like, because of Kelly. And that's why we're in this situation. We have freaking Gina and her Castita with her 3,000 bunk beds. Like, that's not OC.
And like, Elizabeth, and now Emily, who has no storyline, and yeah, it's just gotten bad.
Yeah.
So this is, I really believe, and I think this will be the kiss of death for OC if it's a 2-part reunion and not a 3-part reunion. If we only get 2 parts, we're not getting a season 16. That's my prediction. Because that is the seal of death for any Real Housewives season, is if a reunion goes from 3 episodes to 2.
That's a good one. Andy is not going to let this die. Like, it's, you know, like, Gabby, you love Disneyland, and that's like saying Disneyland will close forever, so all the other parks will suffer because of it, just by proxy. I don't think OC is going anywhere. If anything, they might get like a shorter season, as the season was, or something to that effect. But I do not think Andy Cohen's ready to let that ship go.
That's true.
I hope they'll listen to us, but we'll see. Well, since we touched on Salt Lake City, should we just go get into that?
Please, let's get the hell out of Orange County virtually, because I'm stuck here physically.
I'd much rather be in Salt Lake. Well, speaking on Sarah, I heard that she filmed a lot more than what they're showing because of, you know, her Instagram, and now she's private on Instagram. But I think, well, Gaby and I were, before Salt Lake City started, we were sending each other the Instagrams of the potential housewives, and Sarah was one of them. And we were looking at her Instagram. That was before she was private, and we're like, oh, you know, this is a little iffy. So I doubt that they would bring her full time at this point now, after like the whole Kelly Dodd situation. But I did hear that they edited a lot of her out.
She was that drunk girl, right?
In
the cute, you know, pink dress, and she came in like, yeah, she seemed like fun. I would totally, like, you know, let her borrow my lipstick in the bathroom at like a club. But like,
so the episode started out with Mary and Whitney hanging out at her house. First of all, Mary, it's funny because Mary made Whitney put on those little booties, but then she was walking around in her shoes just fine. But then she was saying how shoes bring in dirt and germs and everything, but she can walk around in her shoes just fine.
I mean, if you think about it, she's a germaphobe. She didn't want to go dating, so she just married within the family. I don't know. I think Mary, I love her as a housewife, but like, I just can't wait to see, obviously, like the second season glow up. Like, you just know she's going to come out like with better wigs, and like she's going to be able to like wear more of her outfits and stuff. So I'm excited to see that. But I think she just needs to come in on her own, and I see that for her. Like, I see like an emancipation of Mary, like emancipation of Mimi. Like, it's gonna happen. So that'll be fun to watch.
I'm gonna sound a little catty and rude here and a snob, but I'm sorry, Mary has the amount of money that she does, and she has to share a closet with a bedroom, and it's that cluttered. They have like 19 houses. Whitney said like that whole room was like so cluttered. She's a high-end hoarder.
Yeah, she's just a hoarder, I think, honestly. She talked about her grandma. She went to whatever department store and she could pick out whatever she wanted since she was little. So she's looked up to her grandma and she's wanted that lifestyle. And if it meant marrying her step grandpa, she was going to get that lifestyle. And now she's living it. So, I mean, it's sad, but that's what she's wanted.
Yeah, like I don't know if you guys noticed, she had a picture of her grandmother in her closet in that room. So it was kind of like her spirit and her ghost is in there, like literally trapped in the closet. Like, it's a little much.
Well, everything about like Mary talking about her homes, she was like, I don't know, I've never counted how many we have, and oh yeah, we never rent, there's never anyone in the house. I was so put off by that.
That was just like her bragging, basically.
I mean, like with every housewife, the IRS is watching, so be careful. IRS has like, you know, their wives watching and just like giving tips or something, because you shouldn't be showing that much opulent wealth, because there is probably like $500,000 worth of like clothing in that room. And, you know, hearing that they're like taking money from their church and stuff, it's just like, you know, that money doesn't get taxed because it's church money. I'm not saying in the proper terms, but you know what I mean? So they just need to be careful.
Which that stuff makes me wonder if Mary would even come back, because I just feel like she's got a lot of skeletons and I don't know that she fully wants all of that exposed.
She'll come back because fame is the only thing you can't buy. So she'll be back.
So what do we think about Mary saying that both Meredith and Lisa are scared of Jen? Do we think that was just a ploy because she wasn't invited to the party, or do you think that they actually said it?
I think they definitely said it, but like kind of like a joking way. I'm like, are we like in 5th grade? Are we offended by saying that we're like scared of each other? Is that like, I don't know. Like I thought that story, like I know it's going to be like the storyline from here. It's going to carry us over to like the finale, but like, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, it's kind of like the Real Housewives of Miami, like the drama with Joanna Krupa and Brandi Glanville off screen. Like, it's kind of like, really, you're talking about like smells here. We're talking about like fear of someone.
Smelly pussy.
Oh God.
Muhammad Adid.
Oh my God, the Muhammad Adid of everything. Yes,
it all ties back. Right? That she.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And Meredith, I love her. I love that I'm done engaging. I'm disengaging. But she said it like 19 times during this episode. Oh my gosh, I keep saying 19. I'm addicted to Jersey. She said, quote, like 10 different times. She needs to get some additional material.
Yeah.
I mean, these women have 15 years or a little less of housewife like handbooks handed to them. So they all came prepared to play. They, you know, like, did Mary go out shopping a little bit extra because she knew she was going to be on the show? Yes. Did Jen have rented a home that was opulent and have like a glam squad? Yes. No. Did Heather, you know, make sure she was always filming at her beauty lab? Yes, and good for her. Like all these, like, and you know, obviously Meredith or Lisa know like any you know saying is going to be popular in memes in just society. Like it's that's what I don't like about Salt Lake City. It's very like cookie cutter housewife. Like I feel like there's a lot more and they can break out of it. But as of right now, it's just kind of like, okay, all the episodes start off with like a party, then there's like randomness at their like empty homes, and then there's like another party. So it's like, you know, like I love it, but it's kind of getting a little.
I'm hoping it'll have like the effect of like when we have a new housewife on, like say Sutton on Beverly Hills, and when she first came on, she came on really strong and I was like, who's this bitch, like judging everyone, but then we really warmed up to her. And I feel like, you know, sometimes when housewives first come on, they just want to like make waves and like be remembered. So I'm hoping as we go on, they'll like stray away from that and just be their true selves, but who knows?
Yeah, the training wheels have to be taken off. And I feel like maybe the first 4 episodes would have been like a good, like palate cleanser, but it's just at this point, it's by the book, which is why they're doing well. But
it might be the whole first season at this point, but yeah.
I will say one of the things I really loved about the party was Lisa's Gucci fanny pack. I really, really liked it. These ladies are bringing it with the fashion. I love it.
Yeah, I think it's too much. Like, this sounds bad, but I feel like they all have their tags on and they're going to Dillard's and returning it the next day.
Yeah.
Like, they don't own their homes. Like, Heather, I believe, is the only one with money because of her ex-husband, and the rest of them, like I don't know. And like this whole like Sundance thing, I forget who mentioned, they're like, I've been going to Sundance for X amount of years and I've never heard of this woman, and so I don't know, like, kind of, this Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is breaking my heart a little.
Well, speaking
it started out so strong and now I'm like, I don't know, like with the drama and everything. I mean, this episode, I feel like it started to pick up a little more, but I feel like I need more drama than just the Jen and Mary. I loved when it first came on and we had Heather versus Lisa and Lisa versus Whitney, and then that kind of went away. So I was happy that Whitney, she's our bone collector, she's our Sheree of Salt Lake City, and she's kind of creating a little more drama. And I know now next week there's going to be some drama with her and Lisa, so I'm hoping this like stirred up some more, but the last couple episodes have been a little iffy for me.
Yeah, and going back to Whitney, I feel like she's a saving grace of the show. Like, she is being herself, and like, I loved when she was drunk at the party at that golf place, and she went up to her husband and she was like, I'm gonna go say something, like, kiss me, and he was just like, what? And she just like went in for like a drunk peck, like, been there, girl. And then she went to go stir up drama. Like, that, it was so real, and you can't like manipulate that. Can you manipulate like Jen Shah, like, in full glance? Like, again, Jen and Whitney both did like the dance off, and like, who seemed more like authentic and real? It was Whitney's, because she just, whatever, she, you can tell she got that jacket on Amazon, and then like, of course, Jen had to be like, I wear my my Beyonce jacket, and she just did the worm and she won at her own party. So it's kind of like,
Jen did not do the worm very well, I'm not gonna lie.
She did not. I mean, I can't do the worm, so that's better than anything I can do. More power to her. But like, I was like, really, girl?
Yeah, I really like Whitney, her little liquid courage stirring up all the drama. I do think Jen is super passionate about things. Do I think it's like really extra a lot of time? Yes. But I still love Jen. I don't know.
Yeah. She's still fun to watch.
Yeah.
Diana, I have a question for you. Who do you think is the cutest husband on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City?
I think Jen's husband is the most handsome out of all of them. Like, I was shocked when we saw Heather's ex-husband come in. He looked like they did that before and after, and it looked like he lost a ton of weight, but he looked so much older than he did. And I was like, oh my, like, talking about like the whole Howard, I know they weren't like related to Howard Hughes, but I was like, oh, maybe they're like, and then he came in, I'm like, oh my God, because their daughters are gorgeous. So I was like waiting for that. So that was shocking.
He's not only unattractive and just not cute, he like has the personality of a wood chip.
Yeah.
He just looks really frail.
I want to see her go on like dates, or like just seeing, like, that would be so fun. Like, Heather, I feel like Heather's like, she started off strong and we were just like, yes, like, we have a different type of housewife, and then kind of like fizzled a little. So I kind of like want her to get her mojo back, because she was super strong like the first few episodes, I should say.
I agree. I mean, I feel like she's got a lot of insecurities and her self-esteem is not very high. And I just want to see like her be happy and dating someone and like feel like super confident. I'd love to see that for her.
Yeah, she needs to hang out with her cousin a little bit more.
So now we are going to leave Utah and we are going to head to South Carolina to cover the most recent episode of Southern Charm. And Catherine, her behavior is unredeemable for me at this point. She is so unintelligent.
Yeah, she's just like, she's never gonna own up to anything that she does or says. And then she's got the boys that just coddle her and just let her do whatever she wants. Shep, Craig, Austin, they all baby her, and that drives me crazy.
Yeah, because
And then
would never do that for Leva.
no, never.
A pack of white boys surrounding her, sticking up for her when she's in the wrong.
Yeah.
Would never happen.
And so I feel like Catherine, she's always just like been told, oh, it's okay, it's not a big deal. Like, she's just never had to be held accountable for what she says or what she does. And then none of these boys let her be accountable. So then she just gets a free pass for whatever. And she's never going to apologize. When the girls try to confront her, she runs away from it because she knows she's wrong, but she's never going to own up to it. And I'm just like over her.
I hate the fact that she has reproduced. I hate it. I mean, she like, I kept trying to say, like, in my head, like, Catherine just, she wants to do the right thing. She doesn't know how. She's naive, but she just like keeps showing more and more that she doesn't care about doing the right thing. She doesn't care about any minority rights. Like, all of her actions show that she's just privileged and she doesn't care. And I have no interest in watching somebody who behaves that way. So if she's going to continue acting this way, I hope she is fired by Bravo personally. And
yeah,
the thing that really got me was when she said about Gwen's releasing the statement about how they let her go, that she doesn't represent how represent their views as a minority owned business. And Catherine was like, that statement was bullying in and of itself. And it was like, are you joking? You come off as a racist. They don't want to be associated with you. How is that bullying? Like,
yeah,
that made me so angry.
she just wants to play victim. And then her saying, well, I'm being like, I'm like dating a black guy. That's the same energy as someone saying, well, I'm friends with the black person. That doesn't mean you can't be racist. They're
That
not.
gives me like Leanne vibes. Like, if you remember, like when
Yeah.
she was like, I dated something Iglesias. I love Mexicans. Like, girl.
She literally just said like she sat on his lap once or something.
Yeah.
Or something. I mean, like, it's just so dumb. It doesn't mean you like couldn't be prejudiced or be racist against a group of people. And like Leva said, banging a black guy doesn't all of a sudden make you woke.
That was so good.
I love that line. That was a good line.
I love Leva so much. And like, we reposted one of her posts to our story and tagged her because it was of her, Danny, the owner of Gwen's, and one of her other really beautiful friends whose name I just can't remember at the moment.
Vanita.
Yes. She posted a photo of them and I reposted it to our story, and
Yeah.
reposted it, and I just was like, thank you for everything you've been sharing about BLM. Like, it's so long overdue on Southern Charm, and everything you've been representing is just amazing. And she replied back saying, like, thank you, but I've just like been getting so much hate about this. And it's like, it's mind-boggling to me.
Yeah, it makes me mad.
How could she not be angry about this? She's married to a black man and has a black son.
Yeah. Or just like Jen, when Mary said that, you know, I'm not going to go to a 7-Eleven because there's black people in front of it. Yeah, of course Jen's going to be pissed off. That's her own kid.
Yep.
It's just ridiculous. I mean, yeah, I think the whole thing is just ridiculous. Like, then Austin, when they're on the boat and Austin butts in about, you know, trying to stick up for Catherine. And Leva's just trying to like explain, like, Catherine has literally said racist things against a group of people, including my husband and my child. She's helped Catherine a lot more than I would expect. And I give Leva props because if I was her, I wouldn't give it two shits about this girl, but she's really tried to help her. And then for Austin to butt in, and then it's just like ridiculous. So I was loving the whole Madison and Leva just yelling at Austin. Like, that was great to me.
Oh my gosh, me too. And Madison looked gorgeous. She looked like a Greek goddess. That dress was so beautiful on her. I like Madison. I really do. I thought it was really funny that she kept poking at Austin and like saying rude things to him because he sucks.
I hate him. I love Madison and Leva. They're probably my favorites right now. And I do think if Southern Charm continues on, which I am not honestly sure. Like same with OC, I'm not sure that this will be a show that stays on. I think if it does stay on, then we'll go in the direction of like Madison from Gwen's and Vanita. I think we'll go in that direction with getting some of those girls on, but I honestly don't know that this show continues on. This season was so short, only like 10 or 11 episodes. That's really short.
As someone who's never seen the show, should I watch it, or is it one of those that's just like, just let it be?
So we watched it during quarantine, like we both just binged it, and there was some good seasons, and I can say that we are both really excited for this season, and I think we've both been really disappointed by this season.
Let's head over to Atlanta, Georgia, where we can talk about our fabulous Atlanta ladies.
Well, I'll say that I think this was probably our best episode of the season so far. I know this season has started off pretty slow, at least for me, but I enjoyed this episode.
I agree. I feel like it like dipped a little the past few episodes, and this one was like, I mean, it gave us so much. It gave us Joe Biden. It gave us Riley going off to college, which like tearjerker.
Oh my God, no.
We got Candy to sing, which was exciting. Like,
and with Portia.
Oh my God, yes. Just Portia being Portia. Like,
yes.
It was an overall great episode.
Yeah, I agree.
We saw Candy's son Ace in his first confessional. Not gonna lie, when he was crying about Riley leaving and that he wanted to pack gloves for her because she didn't pack them, and he wanted to be there to help her clean because she doesn't like getting her hands dirty. Oh my God, that was just so sweet.
It was so cute. So, I mean,
tears in my eyes for sure.
I can't believe that Riley's going to college. First of all, I feel old. And second of all, like, we literally watched this girl grow up for, 13 years now? Like,
oh my God.
It's just so crazy that it feels like our own child is, like, going off to college. Like, we've watched her for 13 years, and now, like, I don't know, she's spreading her wings. And so it's like, you feel like this motherly instinct because we watched her for so long.
She's on like Brianna level from like Vicky's daughter. Like whenever we get a Brianna update, like she had a baby, like she moved, like we're just happy for her. And I feel like Riley is on the same trajectory. Like we're just gonna, like, in 4 years, we're like, she graduated from college, like she's working here, like whatever. Like we're just gonna be excited for her.
She's going to law school. She's gonna be the next Phaedra.
Oh my God, yes.
Better Phaedra.
Hopefully. Mm-hmm. Well, I feel like I enjoyed this episode more because we had a group thing, and I think because of COVID, we're not able to have as much group like events. So I think maybe that's why there's been a little damper on the season. And we also only have 5 full-time housewives, so it's been, I guess, kind of a weird season so far.
Yeah, I mean, can we talk about Kenya's nude? Like, that was wild. Like, that was such a great, like, first of all, that nude, like, you know, it was like on this, it was just weird. And then she sent it to her friend, I forget her name, and she put it on like as her screensaver, like on her phone. I'm like, what is happening?
The weirdest part to me is that LaToya was like, oh yeah, I have it as my screensaver. I was like, of your friend? That's weird.
Her butt looked good. I mean,
she looked great.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. But if one of my girlfriends sent me a photo like that, damn sure it's not going to be my screensaver.
Yeah. And it's funny how Cynthia will keep saying, like, you know, luckily I'm not the jealous type, talking about Kenya and LaToya. Girl, you talked about their friendship every episode. You are obviously jealous. Like, stop pretending like you're not.
Yeah.
But I do like friendship. I don't know.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
And I don't know, like, how close I feel like we need a countdown on the screen, like how many days till 10/10/20.
Oh my God.
So we can kind of like mentally prepare for that, because I don't know, like the masks are such a big issue to me watching. Like, I live in Southern California, as does Gaby, and like
Yeah.
you can't do anything without a mask, like, you know, for safety reasons, obviously. But like in Atlanta, it's like sometimes they're wearing a mask, sometimes they're just wearing a shield, sometimes they're like, it's just the inconsistency just like kind of like makes me feel uncomfortable, just because I'm so used to masks now. It's just like this was in the past and they weren't being careful. So that kind of, I don't know, like I'm just getting ready to be like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna say judge the 10-10-20 wedding, because we all know not everyone wore masks the whole time.
Yeah. And like, I know they're all getting tested often. I mean, that doesn't mean you're still like couldn't spread it. But I feel like, yeah, the inconsistency is what bugs me. Sometimes they'll be wearing the face shields, but then like 2 seconds later, they'll have it off and they'll be hugging. So it's like, I feel like either wear it and stick to it or just don't. I'd rather have that than like wearing it as a facade and then not wearing it. Like, it's the inconsistency for me.
It's the same thing with OC too. They like have masks off constantly, no shields. They're like, oh, we need to put these on for cooking. It's like, okay.
No, I'm just saying, like, it's going to be interesting. Like, these episodes are going to be like a time capsule for us. So, like, 5-10 years down the line, like looking back and, you know, just seeing how each franchise kind of handled it, because we're going to get it in New York, we're going to get it in Beverly Hills coming up. Jersey, I feel like, is going to be very similar to Atlanta, where we'll see it sometimes and not always.
Yeah.
So, you know, just it'll be like a nice little hallmark for the housewives.
Yeah. We're together for Halloween, taking group photos with no masks. And that was like further shown in the trailer.
Yeah. So, I feel like we'll look back at these seasons and like mostly skip over them because with COVID, but for now we're like enjoying it because we don't really have anything else going on. So it'll be fun to look back on.
And then the engagement party that Kenya threw for Cynthia as like her makeup apology for almost ruining the engagement. Cynthia and Mike like were super disappointed because they thought they were going to meet Joe Biden, which is like they said they spent like the first 3 hours feeling disappointed. So like that's not really how you want to feel leaving your engagement party.
I felt like Kenya did a really good job. I mean, she almost like messed up the whole engagement to begin with. So she did owe Cynthia this. I thought she did a really good job. I think all these girls are always late. So that kind of put a damper on it because like only half the people were there when Cynthia showed up. And then like Cynthia and Mike not even realizing that this was like for them was also like didn't make it as exciting, but I feel like she did a good job overall with the execution of it.
Yeah, I just feel like it would have made more sense to call it like a bridal shower or a couple shower, because they've been engaged now for a year. So calling it an engagement party was a little strange. So just, I don't know, small details, but
yeah,
that was a little interesting.
That's Kenya.
That's Kenya for you. I'm surprised she didn't have like her drum line come in with the Kenya more hair care.
For everybody.
Yeah, it could have been a favor.
Speaking of Kenya Moore hair care, I was looking to buy some, but I was asking Michael about this. I only use cruelty-free products. I could not confirm anywhere on her website that it was cruelty-free. So,
until
like,
and I said, you know, if it's not on the website,
no,
then it's not.
Yeah, marketing 101. It would have been on the front page.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of housewives with cruelty-free products, Jen Shaw has come out with like a line of like things for your hair and skin, and it is all cruelty-free. So
yeah, and Rena Beauty. Speaking of Kenya, we had more of like the Kenya Portia feud, which I think is going to be a big thing this season. The dinner almost went really south with Marlo's comment about like, are you going to get your, what did she say? Are you going to get your butt done too? Like implying that Kenya's had work done. Gotta love Marlo. I mean, Marlo always stirs the pot.
Give Marlo a peach.
Seriously. And I just think Kenya's super hypocritical. Like, she obviously has a thing against Portia, but like Portia was what, like an hour. I love the little timer that they had, like showing everyone's time, and then like the little checklist, like, okay, this person's here. I love that because like just my brain works that way. So I like knowing, okay, who's here, what time. Like, I'm gonna thank the producers for that.
Bless the Bravo editors.
Seriously. Just like when they like did the little count of Ramona's 50 friends, that was really great too.
That deserved an Emmy. They were wrong.
So this wasn't that level, but like I still really appreciated that. And like, so like Portia she was like an hour and 20 minutes late, obviously super late. Like I'm late a lot of time, but like 20 minutes, not an hour and 20 minutes. So Kenya is like, oh, like made a comment about like Portia coming late and how she's trash. But then her little friend Latoya comes like 2 hours something late, and she's like, oh, okay, better late than never. Like, haha. Like, I just think Kenya's super hypocritical. She just wants to like throw shade at anyone that's against her.
But she can get away with it. She's been like that since her first season. So it's kind of like one of her charms.
Yeah.
For us. But do you guys like feel like the need for Nene? Because I definitely do. Like it feels like I'm just like waiting, like looking at the door, like in any scene, just like, oh, Nene's gonna pop in. Like, I don't know. Yeah. I feel like her presence is definitely missing this season, and it makes me really sad.
I agree. I think the issue is like I said, we only have 5 full-time housewives. As much as Candy and Cynthia are great, they don't bring the drama like Nene did. And they can sustain when we have a 7 full-time housewife season. But when we have 5, every housewife has to bring it. And Cynthia and Kenya don't bring the drama. Drew is newer. So what? We got Kenya and Portia trying to carry the season, and it just, like, they're both great, but it's not gonna work.
Yeah, I fast forward all of Drew's scenes. She wasn't for me. I don't know. There's too much to watch to be bothered. So I fast forward through her scenes, but like I feel like Candy and Cynthia know when to clock out. They know when they need to stir up drama and when they can just coast.
Yeah.
So I feel like you said, it's just Portia and Kenya carrying the season, and there's only so many like things they can do to keep us interested.
Exactly. I completely agree. I think if at least Latoya was full-time, I think Latoya's funny. I think she would have given us something more than just being a friend. Fallon, I don't know her as much, but she kind of seems fun as well. Drew, it's just like a lot at once and we're just meeting her. So I agree. I'm just kind of like, she seems fun, but I don't really care about her relationship right now because we just met her.
Yeah.
And they're not giving us enough Marlo.
Exactly. So I don't know. I'm not like, I love Atlanta. I'll always love Atlanta. It's probably not going to be their best season, but I will still watch and probably enjoy most of it. All right. Well, let's travel down, I don't know. Where is it? The West. To Dallas, because last night was episode 2 of season 5 of Dallas. And it started out with the continuation of the Brandi and Tiffany, kind of their conversation. Again, I just really love Tiffany. I love how patient she was with Brandi. I love that she's giving Brandi perspective about how, she grew up with racism, but not only did she grow up with it, now she, as a doctor, she's still facing it. Someone in the ER or telling her that, they don't want a doctor that has COVID. So I hope that Brandi's really listening and learning from it. I don't know that she is, but that's my hope for her.
I felt like, it was very sad hearing all that. We're in 2021 and people are still facing terrible racism in like a professional field. But I also feel like Bravo did Tiffany dirty because they're having her start the conversation about what Brandi did. And this is, Tiffany's first season. And that just means the first drama she's going to have is explaining racism to a woman who created a racist video, like whether she had the intentions or, malicious ones or not. Like, I feel like it's just like, I feel bad for Tiffany that she has to start like that.
I agree. It's not minorities people's position to have to educate white people, and so often are put in that position to have to tell white people this is what you're doing is wrong, because it's like it's not inherent enough to like know to do the right thing.
Some part of it feels kind of forced to me, but like that's not Tiffany's job, and like Tiffany has way more of a storyline as a newbie than Brandy has had in the last 2 seasons. So
yeah, and I wonder how much we're gonna get Brandy, because I feel like they haven't been showing her as much in these 2 episodes. So I wonder if that's intentional, or if maybe Bravo thought about making her a friend of, and maybe she redeemed herself throughout the season. But like, I feel like we've only had like a handful of scenes that are just Brandy.
Yeah, I mean, Brandy started out really strong for me, the whole Leanne and Brandy drama, and I thought she was a breath of fresh air with like the high society Dallas stuff. But now I feel like she's just so irrelevant. Like, I don't think we need her anymore.
Yeah, I think her scenes are going to be extremely minimal this season. The way we're seeing Mary Cosby scenes on Salt Lake City, it's like, wait, where's Mary? I think that's how it's going to be this season with Brandy because of her actions.
Yeah, I agree. Well,
she's still holding a star.
Yeah. So. Well, we also got to see Tiffany's house, which I loved. I loved the wine cellar. I thought that was so cool with the rocks and like the glass. And I don't know, that was really cool. I love that she has the fingerprint in her closet. I feel like as a new housewife, as a viewer, I love to see all their stuff. So I didn't really feel like she was bragging about her bags. Like, I liked seeing it. I guess I could see how Stephanie felt that way. But like, as a viewer, like, I was living for it.
I liked it. And it was a nice contrast from Mary's mess of a closet room to this like pristine, beautiful closet. And I just thought it was like really funny that like her thumbprint didn't work. It's kind of like it brought her back down. It's like, okay, like maybe he didn't get the top of the line fingerprint scanner. Like, it's not like Jeffree Star's like pink vault or anything. So
her daughters aren't even old enough to wear her clothes yet. So honestly, I could see her justifying that when her daughters are teenagers, because we see plenty of housewife daughters raid their mom's closets. Her daughters aren't even old enough to yet. So I'm like, girl, why don't you wait till they're in high school for that? But I'm obsessed with Tiffany's house. Her closet is, I think the only other closet that I think I can compare hers to is LVP's, because as Michael knows, LVP's closet is always my name during trivia. Her closet is my favorite of all the Real Housewives. And now Tiffany is tied for me with that.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like LVP level, but like for Dallas, this is pretty elevated for them.
Well, the amount of Chanel bags and Birkins and her little like glamour area, that felt very LVP to me personally.
Yeah. And like, she deserves it. Like, she obviously worked very hard at a very young age. So it's not like she like didn't work for it. So I think that's where I'm like, yeah, I love to see it, because I know that she worked so hard when she was younger, and it's not just like something her husband bought her. Like, she was born into money, like Deandra, or kind of Cameron married into it. So like, it was nice to see like she actually worked for this.
Yeah, I feel like Tiffany also needs to fess up that she's an influencer, because a lot of her money comes from that. That's how she, got on the scene. And if you go back to her posts, she's an ambassador for different brands. So she's obviously getting a check from that, which like, get it, go girl. But like, I feel like she also needs to kind of address that.
Yeah. And it's not all from, obviously, like you said, it's not all from her like being a doctor. She has a candle line, or she sells candles.
Wine.
Yeah, and I obviously follow her on TikTok, so I see a lot of the influencer stuff too. So and that's great. But yeah, I agree. It's not all from being a doctor.
Well, I love Tiffany. I'm obsessed with her, and I'm so glad she is on Dallas.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think she was a really great addition.
Yeah, it'd be fun if she brought on like next season some of her like doctor friends.
Yeah, some more educated people on Dallas would be nice.
Yeah.
Get rid of Carrie because I'm already annoyed with her. But fun fact about Carrie is that her daughter Olivia, who we saw a little bit more of this episode, who I actually was enjoying her daughter this episode, but Carrie's daughter Olivia is the assistant to Bronwyn's stylist.
Really?
Yeah. And because obviously like she's in LA and Bronwyn's in OC. So anyway.
Yeah, I think she's going to my alma mater because I went to FITM and I believe.
So now let's get into our dim sum brunch, which was hosted by Tiffany. And they went to this restaurant that had Dallas's largest Lazy Susan, which was hysterical to me.
And Cameron complained because there was no centerpiece.
Oh my gosh, yeah, Cameron saying that, I was just like, please shut up. I sometimes Cameron is too much for me when she says things like that.
Yeah. I will say like I do relate to Cameron. Like I am a really picky eater myself, so like I probably wouldn't have eaten the chicken feet. I'm not gonna judge like a culture or people for eating them, but like personally I wouldn't want it. I did feel like I get annoyed when people like force food on me because like I just don't want to just don't like if I want to eat it, I will eat it. If I don't, I don't. And I did feel like Tiffany did force it a little bit. And I didn't feel like it needed to be like a huge deal. And I feel like no one needed to be like rude about someone eating a chicken feet. Like it's obviously a cultural thing.
Yeah, I feel like
personally I wouldn't.
Yeah, I feel like the producers took like Tiffany to the side and were like, if you don't get every woman to try the chicken feet, you won't come on as a full-time housewife.
Yeah.
She was on a mission. And I'm like you, Michael, I am a very picky eater. So I wouldn't have even touched, if it was forced upon me, I would have just left. That's, like, I'm not going to eat something I don't want to, cameras or not. So I thought that was in poor taste from Tiffany. It's like, you're still the new girl. You still want to be liked. So
yeah. I agree.
Yeah, like I personally, I just don't eat chicken. I would just say I appreciate you offering this, but it's not in my diet.
Yeah, I wouldn't make a big deal about it.
I just think back to season 12 of Orange County, where they were in Iceland and were offered the delicacy of like fermented shark. And I know that does sound disgusting, but that's a delicacy there. And their behavior was so abysmal, like pretending or like acting like they were gagging and choking on it. Like I wanted to hide under my couch during that because like I've been in Europe and it's just a different cuisine and it is so disrespectful to be like, oh, this is so disgusting. The only one who was super classy about it actually was Meghan King. She ate it. Yeah. You could tell she thought it was disgusting, but looked at the man and said, yes, this is delicious. It's like, yeah, that's what you do. You take one bite, you respect it, you don't need to take another one.
Yeah.
She was the youngest one there and acted the most mature. Like Vicky was gagging, making those sounds. So oh God, don't even get me started on Vicky. But I like respecting other people's cultures, even if like you don't necessarily eat that, you know?
Yeah, I totally agree. I definitely think this season's gonna be like Cameron and Carrie versus like Deandra and Tiffany. I feel like that's what they're setting us up for. What I didn't like is like Cameron calling Deandra the COVID girl. Like that was just kind of rude.
That was so messed up.
Yeah.
It's like, Deandra, I feel like can't take it, but like when they called Ramona, like super spreader, she was like, I don't have the virus. And like Deandra, hell, she really like absorbed like the hatred from that comment.
Yeah, right. What Carrie is giving me, like, I don't know. Carrie is just like super obnoxious to me to begin with. She feels like she's a really poor friend to Deandra. It's giving me like Carrie is the Tamra to Shannon. Like, so like Carrie is like Tamra, and then like Deandra is like Shannon, where like Carrie's just being like super obnoxious and like mean to her friend and like thinks she can just get away with it like Tamra was to Shannon.
Yeah.
That's what I am getting out of it. And obviously we see next week that Carrie pushes Tiffany in the pool and Deandra, but Tiffany can't swim. So love that.
Oh my God, if it would have been OC, that would have been an immediate lawsuit.
Right.
So bad.
But I don't know. I mean, I don't have too much high hopes for this season. I mean, it'll be okay, I guess, but
yeah, it won't be a Potomac, but
no, definitely not. I think we're struggling a little right now with shows. I think Jersey is gonna spark some excitement from us, but otherwise, I don't know. I'm not all that excited about the shows we have right now.
Yeah,
I'm
just
still
remember,
watching them, but
yeah, New York and Beverly Hills are on the horizon.
yes.
So
And Jersey, I mean, I think yeah,
Jersey's here, but like we're close to the golden era where it's like we get like the finale for New Jersey, and then it's like the first few episodes of New York, and then we have like the preview for Beverly Hills. Like it's coming, like good times are coming.
Well, thank you, Diana, so much for joining us. Obviously we'd love for you to plug your shop, your Etsy shop. So yeah.
Thank you. Well, first of all, like, thank you both for having me. This is so exciting. Like, love your podcast. Been like a super, I met both of you guys through social. Michael, obviously, through TikTok, and Gaby, like, you have like the cutest Instagram feed. So, like, so happy to be here. And like, I just want to let your listeners know that like Michael truly helped my shop get off the ground with his, TikToks and stuff. And Gaby has been like so supportive and so great. So like it's kind of like full circle being here with you guys. So like thank you for having me. Like I said in the intro, like, I run an Etsy shop with my sister. It's Bravo and pop culture related. So all of our products are handmade here in Los Angeles by us. Like, we really care for every product that we make. We're very thoughtful the way we do it. And we think we're a little bit different than the others out there with, our designs and how we go about things. So if you guys want to follow us on Instagram, our Instagram name is Rewatching4you. And so that's like the number 4 and then YOU. It's the same name on our Etsy shop. So you can just type that into Etsy and find us, or use a link on our bio. We're on TikTok too. I think the algorithm hasn't been in our favor for a few months now, but every once in a while we'll post on there under the same name. So, we can always make customs, or, you can use one of our great products that are tried and true. And yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. Yeah, it is really full circle. We're excited to have you.
One last thing before I forget. So like for your listeners, like if you guys want to shop on my page, like use code STREET20 and you guys can get 20% off your entire purchase. And yeah, if anyone has any issues, just go ahead and message me trying to redeem that.
This code is also going to be available through our Instagram, which is at the word on the street is _podcast.
Yep.
So thank you.
Well, thanks again so much, Diana.
Of course, I'm here. You guys also need to get my sister at the second half of Rewatching4you on here and get her to take on things. Alrighty. Well,
thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you next week for the Word on the Street is podcast.